Thursday night footy. What a way to kickstart round 3. Para desperate.
Stay on, guys. Time you run.
And Manly towards the top of the competition ladder. And Clint Gutherson, who started his career as a Sea Eagle, sends a long kick to Tom Trebojevic, and Josh Aloiai is met in a 3-man tackle here with Penasini and Simonson in there. And also Matt Dory. They get Ryan Madison back next week after suspension. But Dory and Cartwright play their third straight game as the back row combination here for Parramatta. The hulking frame now of Taniela Paseka. Out to the 30. Oh, we've got a problem with one of the defenders, Josh Hodgson. I think he's got a poke in the eye. He's on his haunches on the 30-metre line. Oh, they cannot lose him in the first set. As Cherry Evans clears it out of Manly's half. And Micah Sebo, who scored 2 tries last week and got a double when these teams last met at the back end of last year. I think it is just a poke in the eye.
That can be so inconvenient. You blink and try and clear it, and it just won't clear. Something that just takes its own time to repair.
Well, the trainer's given thumbs up to the bench, so he's just going to try to get Hodgson right and back into the action. As Campbell Gillard runs it up past the halfway, and Dylan Brown goes away to Bryce Cartwright. Olakau'atu and Cherry Evans on that right-hand edge. Jeez, he's a beast, Olakau'atu. Moses skyward for the first time this evening. And Trebojevic passes his first test. Incredibly still conditions here where a Mitchell Moses spiral bomb from the ocean, and there's not a breath of wind, which is making conditions most oppressive for both teams. It's remarkable that it's 30 degrees at 8 o'clock when the footy starts on a Thursday night.
Well, it's much cooler down there than it is in this commentary box. It's about 48 in here. Not a window in sight.
Parker gives the pass to Garrick, who has to go to ground before he went over the sideline. Schuster now. And Kalma Tuilangi lands on the peninsula from the West Tigers. 25 metres out, Croker and Schuster. A shallow high kick which is tapped along the ground, and it's dived upon here. I think it's Cartwright who's cleaned up the scraps. Well, the man who can tell us all about the conditions is Brad Fittler, who's sporting the T-shirt. That is very appropriate for this evening.
Yeah, I've got to say, Matt, if they started an hour ago, the conditions were oppressing. It was that hot, but at the moment it's actually becoming quite nice. There's a little bit of a breeze, and that's going to be behind the Parramatta side. And like I said, the heat has sort of waned a little bit. It's not as bad as it was an hour ago.
Well, that's a relief at the end. It is up here, let me tell you. Andrew's threatening to call the rest of the game mood. Here's Polo. 8 short of the halfway line. Hodgson's okay. Moses sends a pass away now to Dory, who ran into an Aloiai shoulder. A legal one. And he's put down on play number 5. Hodgson for Moses. End over end kick. And there's a miscommunication. And they've got the ball back here. Cartwright goes to Sebo. Sebo gets up. Sebo goes again. Throws it over the top. Hodgson picks it up now. He bounces away from tackles, but he's lost the ball, and Manly have got it back after a moment of severe discomfort.
Well, they did well around Sebo up there. I thought when he got the ball with space that he just might be too big and strong for them, but the scramble in the Manly defence was quite desperate.
Come on, Junior! Up now and square. Come on, mate. Line me up. Hold.
Now Ruben Garrick. What a crowd. Gee, this hill is pumping.
6 to go.
6 more.
They are a massive team now. Looking at their forward tack, there's 4 players who would be over 120 kilos.
They stack a short side with Cherry Evans, who sends the ball away to Olakau'atu. I don't know he's 120, Andrew, but he's all muscle.
Oh, he's huge.
And Croker for Aloye, who broke the first tackle. But Hopgood and Hodgson combined to end his run. Just outside the 30-metre line. Schuster, neat pass out the back. Cherry Evans now to Tuilangi, and he got a ball away, and Trebojevic went to Parker, and his 100th, he lost it.
Josh Schuster. His ball playing, the way he gets into the line, and he plays as straight as straight. Watch when he gets in the line, how straight he does. And what that does, the straighter you play with the ball, the tighter you keep the defenders. They cannot slide, they cannot turn out, worrying about what's on the outside. His skill, but also his tempo of his run. Watch when he gets the ball. He'll go slow, then he'll accelerate and then slow up in the line. What that does, it attracts the defenders to him. And because he plays so straight and square, it just makes so much room on the outside.
He's only 21 years of age, Josh Schuster. There's so much discussion about him. He's a baby in his 37th NRL game, and only the 5th time he started in the number 6 jumper as Manly concede a penalty here, and Moses reefs one downfield.
Yeah, he looks a lot lighter than I've seen him previously too. A lot of reports that he'd done a lot of work during the off-season. Well, you can see it there in his physicality, and that can help you do the good things more often.
So, good position here for Parramatta, who launched this set just outside the 20. Here's Regan Campbell-Gillard. Strong last week against Cronulla, 181 metres, 77 post-contact metres. That's a big ratio. It goes away now through Brown to Moses, and Gutherson has coughed it up under pressure from a surging Manly defensive line. And now Parker.
Stand Dillon! Junior, hold, front foot, hold!
A real toilet. But a popular member of the club, and another penalty here, they're offside.
I've been coming here for decades. I've never heard a Manly crowd like this at the moment. The chanting and the cheering, and particularly at this point in the game. They're right up for this.
It's remarkable, the turnaround in fortunes for the club on last year. Desi sacked, and Seibold coming in under a spectre of controversy, but they're humming along. They look a happy team, and the fans are embracing it. Now Jake Trebojevic, he's up in the front row now. It's all downhill from here, Jake. Aloye goes away. Schuster and Turbo. Garrick, Ruben Garrick. Try number 1 of the night to the Sea Eagles.
Here's a perfect example of what Andrew Johns was just saying. Schuster attracting attention to the defence line, making them come up straight. And that gives space to the people on the outside. And you don't need Tom Trbojevic to have too much space. Harvey Norman replay. Look now, the ball gets to Trbojevic. He's comfortably got 2-on-1. Able to get the ball to Garrick, and it's quite a simple try. Beautiful ball playing again from Schuster.
This will show it perfect. Watch him get across. Goes quicker into the line. Look how straight he plays. Will Penasini just has to hold. Potential of Josh Schuster. Just hope he works so hard in his career. Gets himself rock hard fit, because the ceiling of this young man, who knows where it can get to. Jesus, there's some signs already from Manly. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, just watching Parramatta's defence, and Will Penasini bit in, obviously, but I feel like they knew they were going to get caught short at different times. Just watch Gutherson at the back coming across. He always knew there's going to be 2-on-1s and he'd have to make the tackle. And he had a good shot at Ruben Garrick there and just missed him cold. So I feel like everyone nearly did their job there, but Gutho had to take his man, and this time it was Ruben Garrick, the try scorer, and he missed.
He's scored 102 points now in 8 games and 9 minutes against Parramatta. Ruben Garrick, he's a point-scoring freak.
Well, he's playing outside of Schuster and Tom Trbojevic tonight.
Yes.
He might add to that.
Oh, it's a lovely kick from touch.
Guys, we've got to work hard on this 10 metres, okay? Front foot and hold. Right, middles. Stay on!
I think what Andrew Johns is saying, seeing some good signs from Manly. I'm seeing some really worrying signs from Parramatta. They need to lift it up here a little bit. It's kind of like the last two narrow losses are in their head. And they're hoping things will go well.
Front foot, Parra, and hold! Hold, Junior!
Falling off a few tackles. A little bit frantic with the ball, turning it over.
Out together and square, front foot again and wait. Wait! Off that ball, Josh!
It's Brad Arthur. He'll be comfortable in the knowledge that he's got a few more years at least here at Parramatta. Till the end of 2025, it'll make him the most prolific coach for the club. Now, this is a 40-20 attempt. It's going to roll too long.
But it's a good sign. Really good sign. He's a really improved player.
Front foot, front foot!
Lachlan Croker, really underrated.
Wait.
Defensively, really strong. Watch his defence, his technique gets up and under him. Former halfback, knows the game well. That was a good sign, that early kick. Oh, head clash there. Olakuatu.
And now Hopgood.
Josh, don't work now!
With all the talk about tackle techniques, etc., everyone needs to just tackle like Jack Trbojevic.
Don't recruit, Lachlan!
Wouldn't be a problem. Here's Hopgood. And Brown. He's been quiet in the opening fortnight after a career best season last year. One-handed scoop Hodgson. And Cartwright has sent it forward.
He's ruled the pass forward, mate.
Very tentative.
So, Clint, just to
Very
clarify, he's ruled the
tentative, the
pass
Eels.
forward. You can't
It's like they don't believe it themselves.
You can't challenge forward. Where? Shot clock on.
Just missed timing, no communication. They're not filling me with a great deal of belief at the moment.
Danica, down to you.
Yes, there have been some new concussion protocol rules that have been introduced this week, and they come into effect tonight. So players who have been diagnosed with a concussion will be automatically stood down from contact and from playing for an 11-day period. So that means they'll miss their match the following week, and depending on their time and their turnaround, they could miss the second game as well. They will have some exceptional circumstances where they can fight these stand downs, but that will have to be approved by an NRL appointed independent neurologist.
Okay, thanks, Danica. There's obviously some quite serious implications for clubs now by way of players missing games. Missing games on a mandatory basis now, so it'll be interesting when we get towards the big games. Jake plays it back. Schuster, Cherry Evans, Tom Trbojevic, Brad Parker, and now Garrick. Parramatta get across there and they drag him to the ground. Fifth tackle.
Manly has just identified that the Parramatta right-hand defence will not move up at all.
Cherry Evans with a tantalising kick. Here comes Turbo. They go up. Gutherson knocked it on. It's 6 more. Croker scoops it up, and Manly on the attack once more, right on the Parramatta line here.
6 more, 10 metres.
Olakuatu, he takes some stopping.
Yeah, come on.
Even from a standing start, 12 metres short. Kohler, Cherry Evans, Jake Trbojevic. Cartwright and Polo bring him to ground. They're set up left. Daly, Cherry Evans, Schuster to Turbo. Oh, he tried to catch it in one hand. Tuilagi and dropped the ball.
Well, they nearly had them again.
Shot clock on.
It's just a freeway down this left-hand side of the field. They're relentless, Manly. When they sense a weakness, they're just relentless. They don't let up. Trebojevic becomes your worst nightmare.
Let's go, come on. Guys, gotta wait. Break.
Campbell-Gillard off the scrum.
Get on now, Daly.
Charging towards
Front foot.
Tolu Kola. And Daly Cherry Evans raced away from halfback to make the tackle. Now Wonga Blake.
Space, Josh. Hold front foot.
Gee, racing off the line, Manly, aren't they? Look at Kola. He gets crunched.
They've had so much ball. Their petrol tanks are full.
He's not good against Aloye.
Held. Release.
14 short of the halfway line. Hodgson for Polo. Went behind Campbell-Gillard. Found Brown and Cartwright. And good hands from Blake to Sevo. There's Manly jumpers everywhere.
Last one, Daly.
Just see the difference in the speed of line of the two defensive units. Manly want to go and do their work. Parramatta want to sit back and wait for Manly.
Oh, that slept up a little bit high. It was accidental, and there's no penalty. You can't do that to Turbo, not here in Manly, not at Brookie.
Give room now, Toomey. Hold 1 foot.
Gee, it's good to see him back on the field. He may have been tentative in the eyes of some last week. His numbers didn't reflect that. A try assist, 2 line breaks, 5 tackle busts. Yes, Brad?
Just watching Parramatta's attack as Manly bring the ball out. They look like they're trying to gain confidence out of putting all their plays on. I think if they just rely on Mitchell Moses' kick at the moment, that seems good enough to win the field position. Just trying a bit hard, they're just pushing a bit too much the Parasite.
Pressure on Cherry Evans. Kicks it, Micah Sevo. Oh, he didn't look all that comfortable there, backpedaling the big Fijian winger. Oh, he gets dumped. You don't see Sevo picked up and driven like that very often.
On the mark.
And that was Kola and Tui Pelotu, his opposite number. Wonga Blake playing it. Now Cartwright. Oh, they're hitting with real venom. Oh, it's a penalty. It's a penalty to Manly.
Yeah, out of play. Mark, please, Ash. Yep. Say again. Josh is out of play, 15.
So they're saying Josh Hodgson was in front of the play the ball. In front of the previous play the ball, coming back on side.
They're going to take the shot at penalty goal here at 6 points to 0.
In the break.
So Manly to extend this beyond the converted try.
Geez, if I was Cherry Evans, I would have been tempted to go for the try.
Commentators and balls.
I mentioned how prolific Ruben Garrick is with his point scoring. In 2021, 2021, sorry, and 2022 combined, 510 points. Incredible.
He's a good goal kicker. He's kicking above 84, 85%, I think.
I don't know if he was alive in 2001.
Goffey, we'll keep an eye on when they're attacking. Manly's attacking this left edge and they're not grabbing blokes off the ball. Just noticed before, yeah?
The home
Stay
team
on.
tugging along. in this age-old battle, Manly and Parra on Thursday night. And back comes Aloye, who runs a long way there from kick reception. He's almost out to the 20 before he was tackled.
Well, someone needs to stand up in the forward pack for Parramatta and try to inspire their teammates. Big tackle or something. Here they go again.
Parker. Good tackle there, Penasini.
Something to inspire their teammates and drag them along, because at the moment, they're in half pace.
Look at this for a run.
Manly's had 66% of possession. Gotta hang in there.
Here's Turbo on play number 4, takes it himself, carries the defence with him, and wants to play this quickly to allow an attacking kick. It'll go right to Daly Cherry Evans. Dinks it up in the air. Gutherson making ground, and he's allowed to catch it, and he's absolutely crunched by Tui Pilotu. Manly coach Anthony Seibold joining us now at the 20-minute mark. Lovely to talk to you, Anthony. You must be over the moon with this start so far.
Yeah, mate, it's been a really strong start. I think our intent and our defence has been giving us some opportunities with the attack, but we know Parramatta are going to get their chance, so we just got to stick solid here.
Plan to play to your left tonight?
Mate, we're pretty keen there, Joey. We can see that their right wing is quite compressed, so there's some opportunities for us. I think the next thing we need to do is start hitting some leads.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Anthony Seibold doing a stellar job over here in the infancy of his tenure as Manly coach. Now, you saw Moses kick on 4, looking for a 40-20, and is that a momentum shifter?
That was a great kick. It's one way to wrestle back the momentum. Now they've got to back it up with a couple of good sets defensively.
Release now! Wait, Jermaine.
Trebojevic beats Dory. Can't beat his Origin teammate, Junior Polor. Oh, there you go. That's your reward. Aloye coughs it up, and Parra have possession.
Hold it. Come on now, Jake to me. Hold it.
Let's see what they can do with here. Hodgson, left to Moses, then to Brown, a juggle by Cartwright. I'm thinking the sweaty conditions are causing issues for the players handling out there. So warm and muggy. Polor, that was a nice little pass to Dory, but he is trapped in a 3-man tackle with Aloye and Trebojevic at the forefront of it. It goes to Campbell-Gillard, through Moses, now Brown, and out to Gutherson, and on to Sevo. Oh, there was no room to work with at all down there, and they kept passing.
Well, it was all going sideways.
Play the ball, middle.
Manly just allowed them to pass and pass and pass and said, well, we'll tackle you over here. We know where it's going. Not a lot of deception there from Parramatta.
Front foot.
But you can see the effect of the early kick. All of a sudden, Manly was slow to get onside. By the back end of the set of 6, no one could hit it up. And they fumble it. If you can do 2 or 3 of those in a row, that can really change the momentum.
Must take some courage for a halfback when you're running against possession 65% to kick early in the count.
It's the real feel when to kick.
Well, here's a run, Croker.
That's why they get the big bucks, Matt. They've got to have that courage.
Oh, he's lost the ball.
Yeah. So they've got them back 2 with 2 good kicks, and all of a sudden Manly have fumbled twice.
Shot clock on.
And Manly have lost a little bit of their fizz. All of a sudden they're walking into position and they don't like working off their own line. Now, Parramatta should burr up on that and say, look at this, look at their walking now. They should get excited about it. And I think Parramatta have got to do less passing across field, really dig into them, make Manly earn their tackles at their own end.
Lachlan Croker, the reigning player of the year for the Manly club.
Stay in. Shot clock off. Josh in. Hold there. Break.
Done a super job in the number 9. Turned into a hooker, really, from a half by necessity. And
wait here. Go on, Sean.
he's rock solid, reliable. Here goes Polor. Croker down low around the legs. Jake Trebojevic up top. 26 metres out. Here goes Hopgood. He's tough and he's durable and he's also skillful. We saw a display of that last week. couple of try assists and beautiful soft hands passing from Jermaine Hopgood. Brown, Moses charges onto it. Gutherson. Garrick came out. I think it flicked a hand. It did. 6 more coming. Simonson scoots back to the middle of the ground where Sean Kepi's waiting for him. And Aloye as well. Now Regan Campbell-Gillard. Down inside Manly's 10. Brown and Moses, and a pass back on the inside, and Kepi was waiting with open arms. Boom.
Wait, Josh, wait. Tom.
Brown short to Campbell-Gillard. Oh, he sneaks through here.
Daly off that grip.
Ola Kawatu didn't complete the tackle, but the reinforcements came in time. Hodgson with a kick, and they're all after it. Roll's dead.
No. That wasn't the play.
No.
Building pressure, getting their tackle counts up, and you give them a cheap 20 metres and 7 tackles.
Offside arm now. Jermaine, come on, Jermaine.
That's the one where the coach throws the water bottle.
He hasn't done his study, Josh Hodgson. That's the end. That's the downhill end. It rolls over the dead ball line down that end, Brad. See, that's the lowest part of the ground. You know that.
Sure is. That's where Brett Stewart scored 1,000 tries down there.
Yeah.
The stats are incredible. We've just gone past the 20-minute mark. There's no drink breaks. What they do allow, though, is the yellow trainer. They can be on as often as they like, feeding the boys some water.
They come left again. Schuster to Parker. He's crushed through the first tackle. Simonson, he didn't give up on the play and he eventually made it, but they are in all sorts. Turbo! Oh, they're too big and strong and fast.
Okay, Ash.
It's one of his favourite
We will have
plays.
6 more.
It's one of his favourite plays, where a teammate can make a little bit of a dent in them near their try line and get a quick play the ball. Turbo really sweats on this. What's this? They'll come through the line. Harvey Norman replay. Put a little dent in them, and Turbo will just tee up on this. Looking runner from the backfield. Bang, my ball. Bang, get out of my way. He loves that run. Seen him do that so many times. Look where he came from to get involved. He could sense it. He's a big man, Tom Trbojevic.
That's just the under-8s play. Give the ball to Turbo.
Yeah.
But when you see him accelerate onto that ball.
Well, you watch where he comes from. He could see that they were putting a dent in them, and it's one of his big plays. You've really got to watch him close to your try line. Look at him sprinting from over the other side there, back into the middle of the field, and bang, you'll just pick out Hodgson, the smallest defender, and run straight at him. And he might look skinny, but he's not. When you stand alongside of him, he's a big man. Big man.
Certainly not dropping off.
There's 3 Trbojevics in the Manly team tonight. We've got Ben on the bench as well. Ruben Garrick for 14. Zip. This is super impressive, it seems.
Saw a clip of his brother, Ben. He's put some size on too.
Yeah. He's pumped up, wasn't he?
Stay on, guys. Time it.
Jeez, if his old man John was a racehorse, it'd be worth plenty.
Josh, leave that.
It's true.
Hold! Release, Jack! Hold! 6 more.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Let it go.
No. No. There was a little 7 or 8 minute period there where you felt like Parramatta were getting it together. Hodgson kicks the ball dead from close range. And from there, we're back to one-way traffic.
Oh, that didn't look forward.
What's up? Shot clock on. What's up?
Needless to say, the Eels need a score here.
Arms around, Matt. Thank you. Hold out there. Shot clock off. Break.
There's a strong run. Will Penasini, great to hear from his parents pre-game as well. Now Makahisi Makatoa's into that game and cop that. He's a real hitman in this pack, Sean Kepi. 17 on 17 there. And Kepi got the better of the battle. Campbell Gillard swung left from Hodgson. And Gutherson joining in. Kohler missed him. Jack Trebojevic got over there, but he slipped a pass away. Now Brown, juggle there from Murchie, but he's got the ball back. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Thank you.
Too frantic.
Shot clock on.
Down to you, Brad.
Yeah, I think Anthony Seabold got it right. It's all the Manly's defence. They don't panic. There's real trust in each other. A couple of times Seavo's been put over the sideline and they've covered kicks. It's a really good sign of a team this part of the season when there's just no stress in their defence line.
Telstra has some of the best defence in the business, tackling millions of cyber threats every day.
Jack, don't work it out.
Manly launching all sorts of threats out there tonight. Here's Tui Palatu. Even the wingers are big units. He is a tank and he runs hard. There's more than a bit of George Tafua in him. He tackled Sevo like Steve Matai earlier. Juggled by Cherry Evans. Here's Olakau'atu. That's an excellent tackle.
Yeah, that's an angle he loves running, Olakau'atu, off Daly Cherry Evans.
Cherry Evans off the left. There's a scrap for the ball. It's still the last tackle. Oh, and Cherry Evans got away. The second kick is taken by Simonson. So good pressure there by Parramatta to win back a bit of territory. Here's Makatoa. Brings plenty of energy off the benches. Moses gets absolutely iced. They're not just tackling, they are whacking this Manly side tonight. Campbell Gillard dragged to the ground. Well, here they come again. Kepi, although they've gone through the hands. Gutherson in behind them. He's going to score the try. Clint Gutherson with his first of the season.
Let's have a look at contact.
They came racing out, trying to put shots on, and Gutherson slipped in between them.
Well, it was last play, and there was inside pressure coming at Dylan Brown. They may look at this challenge, Harvey Norman replay. The outside backs for Manly are hanging back, waiting for the kick, and then Gutherson, ball in two hands. Watch the contact here of Dylan Brown after he passes the ball. I think it's Kepi. Hits him. I don't know if he hits him high, but he stays down. Ball in two hands. It's a great hit back by Parrot. They had to score next. They had to. Nice play by the Manly junior. Geez, they needed that try.
Didn't they? They weren't doing much in that set of six, were they? Try confirmed. Manly just a little guilty of sitting back on the last play, waiting for a kick. and got their line all wrong. A couple came out of the line to get Dylan Brown, others hung back. And they just took a dummy from Gutherson.
Mitchell Moses has never won a game here at Four Pines Brookvale. He's none from 4. That's a magnificent kick from touch.
Not when it hits the ground.
So the skipper might have just steadied the ship to a degree. Still a handy lead for Manly, but can they bounce off some points, Parramatta? Garrick resumes. And back comes Makatoa as we head down to Freddie.
Well, that would have felt nice for the King, Clint Gutherson, being a Manly junior. He missed that first tackle on Ruben Garrick, which led to the first try, and he got his own back. He beat 4 Manly defenders. He actually made his debut on the same day as Jake Trebojevic.
Onside, boys.
For the Manly side.
Freddie, did Jake and Gutho play junior reps together here at Manly?
Yeah, well, they made their debut together here.
He played 5 games in his first 3 years here at Manly, Clint Gutherson, so no one could have expected he'd become the player he is today, an Origin player now, of course.
Oh, he was a good junior.
Yeah, you could see it in the juniors.
Yeah, he was a really good junior. I think he had a couple of knee injuries, didn't he, Andrew?
Yep. He's just behind a bloke called Brett Stewart and Tom Trebojevic.
Yeah,
Back there, tackle 3, easy. Yep.
She's been a star for Parra. Murchie, they have an opportunity to go back-to-back now. They've been totally outgunned in the first half, but the scoreboard looks pretty good now. Dory threw off a Mitchell Moses pass, and there's about to be 2 points in the game.
Well, all of a sudden, it's not so bad. What was all the worry about? Little bit of a run of possession. And instead of trying to go around them, Gutherson dummy goes through. Dory hard run, Harvey Norman replay goes through. Maybe the penny has dropped, Andrew.
I think this is the side that they've got to attack. Schuster, first game back, hasn't defended with Tuolungi. In and around Schuster, around those gaps between him and Tuolungi and around Brad Parker. If they get traffic around Schuster, around those areas, they can have some joy.
Well, all of a sudden,
game on.
Mitchell Moses kicks this. What do we got, a 2-point ball? It's not so bad. It's not so bad. It felt like the end of the world. Now we're only 2 behind.
What you're saying, it's never as good as you think?
It's never as good as you think, and it's never as bad as you think.
He's a solid boy, Matt Dory.
Yeah, he was with the Bulldogs last year. He had virtually a year off with a really bad knee injury. Played a little bit of reserve grade at the back end of last year. Always seen as a player of promise, but had a terrible knee injury at the back end of 2021.
He looks like a footy player.
Oh, dear.
Oh, with mock tip deluxe.
In the break.
That's not a footy player. He looks like he's been on. He looks like he could have been Is he at a squirt? He looks like it. Take that.
Time you run.
Well, Moses drills one from touch and then misses one from next to the posts. 14-10 looks a hell of a lot better than 14-0 though.
Stand down.
They've roared back to life, Parra.
Well, at least they've found a way now. They know that they can go through them on the edges, provided the middle can just do their work. The first 30 minutes, they were just running out over the sideline and dropping the ball and running sideways.
And they've got numbers out here. Oh, good tackle, Parker. How about Simonson?
A lot more energy about the Eels now.
Not wrong. Gutherson for Brown, who's hovering out on that left-hand edge where Cherry Evans was waiting for him. And Olakawatu also. Up she goes. Like shelling peas for the big fullback. A shift here. A couple of passes for Manly. The Billy Slater podcast. If you haven't subscribed, added it to your podcast feed, you've got to do that. The Billy Slater podcast every Monday. Make sure you add 6 tackles with Gus while you're there. And Fred in the 8th. And Jake Trebojevic. 33 tackles in 80 minutes in the front row in round 1 against Canterbury. Cherry Evans was really rushed there. Look where he's kicking from. He's kicking from his own 30. Good tackle. Good strong shot. It's Kepi again.
Well, if this is the half-time score, Brad Arthur's got something to work with at half-time. He had nothing to work with 10 minutes ago.
It's been a great half of football. Well, the crowd didn't like that. They thought it was a forward pass, so maybe a knock on. Now Gutherson with it. Moses accelerates. Scored a blistering try against Cronulla last week. Scored 2 tries in the match. Now Brown with a dink through, and Wonga Blake's coming. Turbo, he was there. Oh, look out, he nearly broke away, and he got a pass away. There's confidence, and Tui Palotu is dragged down. 40 seconds until half-time, and Turbo's offloading in his own 20 from kick reception.
I don't know how Manly fans or Anthony Seibold go, but every time I see Turbo get the ball and take off, I hold my breath.
Easy, hey.
Whoa!
Time off. Give him the ball. Time is off.
21 seconds.
Good kick. 2-point field goal.
Oh, Gus loves the early first half field goal.
We've gone past the 40 now.
Not now.
Well, no.
Cherry Evans.
He's nailed
it. It's a flat stinger. I think it's gone out to the right. He's missed it. It was on target, but it just faded away at the last moment.
The first half field goal.
Well, that was fun. Manly and Para turn it on again. It's Manly 14, Parramatta 10.
Yeah, look at Manly. And their biggest strength is also their biggest weakness. They're such a big team. And we saw during that game they had 66% of possession in that first half, and they looked unstoppable. When that possession turned, they looked like a different team.
Yeah. I think they've got some real defensive deficiencies. As you say, when they're getting a run of possession, you've got Cherry Evans and you've got Trebojevic. I mean, there's no more dangerous attacking duo. But defensively, if you can ask them to do a much, you get opportunities. Mind you, they're running downhill in the second half.
They are.
They're running towards Sydney. All the points get scored when you run towards Sydney.
They're running towards the Lions Menzies
Stay on, guys.
stand. And Bailey Cherry Evans later this year, should bring up his 300th NRL game, notwithstanding something not planned. And Cliff Lyons is the only Manly player to play 300. That was a big tackle to start the second half. Olakawatu.
Cliff would have played 600 if they let him.
Well, I was just going to say, oh no, there's a bad error by Murchie. If you count all the games he played in the bush and up till he was about 50, he's probably over 1,000.
That's a big error.
Square.
Now you want to see some steel from the Parramatta defence to defend that error. Turn them away.
Schuster and Turbo and Kohler and out to Tui Pilotu. He ducked inside of Sivo's attempt, but there's good coverage there by Parramatta. 5 players got across to shut it down. 6 metres out, just in from the touchline. Kohler, away to Trebojevic. Here's Kepi. Murchie, who made the error, is trying to defend it now with help there from Makatoa. Croker's pass finds Cherry Evans and Schuster, and now Turbo with number 2. Oh, they're appealing here for an obstruction.
It's Brad Parker. He runs the decoy for Tom.
Wait. Ash, coming up to tackle 4. No try. We're just having a look at contact on Mitchell Moses from the lead runner.
Yeah, Brad Parker, he runs into Mitchell Moses. Just keep your eyes on the redhead. Come flying through.
Just look at Brad Parker here at Mitchell Moses.
That's a no try.
Brad Parker has run directly at Mitchell Moses and taken him out of the play. We have a decision.
He's a genius, Mitchell Moses, at that. He can find them.
But he did one last year in the grand final, very similar to kick out, and they awarded a try.
But that's his big play on the goal line, to get in the way of those decoy runners. He's a genius at it. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Gus.
Who do you reckon taught him that, Uncle Benny?
It's in the DNA.
Well, I reckon he's gone into half-time and thought, well, you know what? By the way they were ball playing the first half down his side, you know, I need to turn this around, put it in my favour and just jump in front of someone.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Who's Polo? He was ball playing in the first half. He's run straight and hard there.
Yeah, I think the coach has had a word in his ear there.
And now Dory. Oh, good tackle. Penalty.
Tie.
Oh, it's a high shot. I was focused on Kepi around the legs. I missed the clip around the jaw from Tuilangi.
Well, that's the other thing about first man going in low. We talk about low tackling, but it changes the point of the attack for the bloke over the top. See that?
Yeah.
You go in low, he falls quickly, and the man over the top, you know, he can easily make contact with the head. That's...
He's on report.
There is no benefit in low tackling in our game whatsoever.
Come on. Yeah, well, I don't.
Here's Makatoa. They've scored the last 2. Can they hit the front here? Would have been unthinkable early in the game. Brown away to Wonga Blake. Tries to put some footwork on and does that. Got it back to Polo. Now Gutherson.
Sean, let him up.
Tackled midfield.
Wait.
Kepi the defender. Hodgson plays right to Moses. And it goes to Makatoa.
Kelmar, let him up.
Tuilangi there with Lachlan Croker. They're down inside the 10. Moses and Brown and his Cartwright. Great tackle, Cherry Evans. Now Hodgson and now Polo. Short pass. They read it well. It's a strong defence. Dylan Brown for Gutherson. Kohler came out, tries to wrap it up. Oh, he missed him! He missed him cold! Gutherson with his second and Parra going to lead the ball game.
We have new leaders. And this is what I'm going to say. You've got to give Manly a chance to miss tackles. You keep going sideways and they'll gather you up. Harvey Norman replay, but it just takes someone to come back against the grain and challenge people, and all of a sudden you pull through tackles and come out the other side. We have new leaders, Andrew.
I can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Kohler there loses his legs. He's reaching, and then I think Ola Kawatu slips over, and that's why they call him the king. Where's his dance? The dance is gone. I can't believe they're going to be in front after 20 minutes. It looked like it was going to be 50.
Well, it's a great play by Mitchell Moses at the other end of the field. to get them the penalty to come down this end. And now Gutherson and Mitchell Moses, bingo, they go to the front.
Gee, that's a bad miss. Where's the rest of them? Anyone else?
Let's wait for the clock, guys.
10 seconds.
Okay, time it.
Well, he has dragged them back into it, Clint Gutherson. 2 of the 3 tries. And Tolu Kola slipped off the tackle, and it was a shock to see no one else there in a Manly jumper in front of him. I think Gutherson was as shocked as anyone.
What an extraordinary game.
Square now, cover, Sean. Easton, no more. Back it up, Sean. All the way, all the way.
Oh, here he is again. Clint Gutherson hitting it up to the halfway. Moses with his favourite kick. Kicks away from Tom Trbojevic. Ruben Garrick.
Yeah, well, now that they've got to the front, everything falls onto Mitchell Moses' shoulders. Controlling the game, kicking game. He's got to kick Manly to death. Get his team on the front foot. They need this win.
There you go. There's another mistake.
Yep. Every time they've been asked to bring it off their own line, they've come up with errors.
Clint. Shot clock on.
That's the blueprint. Get them down in the corner, shoulder up, jam it into them. Sweaty ball, out the back it comes.
Ten seconds, bind tight.
Power in the box seat again. Hodgson goes to Moses, now to Brown, now to Gutherson. Out comes Tui Pilotu. He doesn't miss many. They're hunting up for a 4th try on the trot here. Murchie.
Sean Jake, no more.
Stopped by Kepi and Jake Trbojevic, and he's feeling for his head. He's got the knock in there somewhere. Hodgson for Polo. Jake Trbojevic just dived at his legs. That is so brave. They're among the biggest legs in the game, I reckon. Hodgson out to Brown. Short to Makatoa.
Let him on now.
They've used 4 tackles. Hodgson dummied the kick, and then he pulled out of it. He went back to Mitchell Moses. He thought about a kick, then he steps himself. He's up against the big man. And they drag him to ground. So it's going to fall here on Dylan Brown for a kick on the last. If they decide to kick, back to Gutherson. He's gone behind him. He's going to roll it towards the in goal. And it's an obstruction.
So Clint goes behind, takes his advantage.
Yeah, Wonga Blake, he thought the kick was on.
You go behind him, you take an advantage.
No communication.
With the kick.
Dylan Brown goes to the line. He was thinking run. Wonga Blake, he was going through for the kick, and then Gutherson comes behind. Cartwright, it's a Shepherd.
Hold here.
So the 2 clashes between the teams last year were very high-scoring games. 36-20 in round 21 and 22-20 in round 11. That was the game where Tom Trbojevic dislocated his shoulder at Combank. So we're at 16-14, and we've still got ample time here. There's plenty more tries in this one feels, as Kepi plays it in the middle of the ground. The ball goes to Jake Trbojevic. Here's Schuster. He fired it back for Tom.
Let him up. It's Manly ball. Wait.
He's all right, Andrew. He's not made of porcelain, believe it or not.
I thought he pulled up lame.
Here's a run. That gets them going forward. It's the last play, though. Olakuatu. Jake Trbojevic. And out for Tom. Floats a pass for Parker. And then to Garrick, who handled it. He gets it in one hand. Tosses it back infield. Oh, that was neat from Parker, it goes to Schuster. One-handed ball to Kepi. He doesn't want to kick it. Eventually gets to Cherry Evans, who kicks out wide. It's Tui Pilotu versus Sivo. The ball's been knocked forward by Manly. Oh, it's off Sivo.
Rock on. Change over.
Double knock on.
Yeah.
Sean Kepi couldn't get rid of that quick enough on the last tackle, could he?
Junior!
I don't want it.
Get him square.
Yeah, somehow I don't think we've seen the last points tonight.
No.
Wait.
Whoever's got the ball looks dangerous.
Manly.
Haven't seen Josh Hodgson getting in a dummy half much.
Up square.
He's happy just to feed Moses and Dylan Brown. So again, those combinations will take a while to build.
What a ball
from Junior.
And Makatoa, he had an arm free too, and Simonson was in field. That was dangerous.
But we've seen Hodgson at Canberra over the last 10 years.
Good run, Dory.
He gets out of dummy half. He's an extra halfback. Great vision.
Gee, this is a powerful set for Parramatta. They couldn't get out of their own end early in the game. Now they're running their way out of trouble with great authority. The ball goes to Murchie now. Dumped by Olakawatu with Ethan Bullimore.
Not late.
Moses kicks to Garrick.
Dylan.
Oh, good footwork. He's a good player, isn't he? He's so underrated, Ruben Garrick.
Him up, Josh. Hold.
He started the Dragons, didn't he?
Here's it. Yeah, he's in the lower
Gerringong
grades.
boy.
Yep.
Go, Junior. Yeah.
Nicola. If he gets a bit of open space, there's trouble. Here's Cherry Evans. He got 3 last week, and he's dragged down. That's flimsy defence by Parramatta. Now Kyo Weeks in 14. Slips a one-hander away to Paseka. Fourth tackle. They've travelled a long distance here. Weeks for Turbo into first receiver. Away to Schuster. And a left foot step and a straightened by Tuolangi. He keeps it alive. Back to Schuster. He's going to kick over the top. Turbo's there. Turbo might have got this down. Incredible attacking rugby league. He scored the try.
Well, that's come out of absolutely nothing. The Eels had that covered. Harvey Norman replay. There's a miracle offload here. And then Schuster with the chip and chase speculator. Catches it. Chip and chase. And there's Turbo. There's Turbo.
Oh, that is so good.
There's
great skill.
Turbo.
This is an area I thought they had a big advantage, their back row. Look at that for a big man footwork. And then the offload through the line. And then Schuster. Look at that skill.
What touch.
And who else? Where do you think, Gus, by the end of his career, fingers crossed he stays injury-free, where do you think Tom Trbojevic will end up as in legends of Manly? Like obviously Bob Fulton is number 1.
Well, I'm going to talk about him after the game. Win, lose or draw. I'm just going to do a little piece on Tom Trbojevic and talk about what I think are the real strengths of his game. And you've got a point right there. This is a man that's been troubled with hamstring injuries all his life. Look at the way he doesn't even think about it, but bends down to get down low to this ball to get that ball down. If there's any doubt in his mind at all, he can't do that. He's been plagued by hamstring injuries all his career, yet he's got the mental strength just to be so instinctive and do that. And we'll talk more about that after the game.
Next breaker player might ask Brad Fittler about coaching Tom. He's got a great relationship with Tom and Jake.
Oh, Garrick has dragged it left.
Joe, you can go down to him. Probably first tackle, mate.
Welcome back to Full Blood Stadium.
We're going to get a Brad Fittler early in this set.
Put him there at least legs, boys.
3, 2,
Time you run, guys.
Well, welcome back. We'll throw down to Brad Fittler. Talk about Turbo.
Well, it's one of those real privileges, coaching Turbo. I think, as you just saw then, one of the things that people wouldn't know about him is that his level of intelligence, and that's why he makes the space, the timing, just being in position. It all comes very easy. It's just reading. He's reading things that other people take a lot longer to do.
What's he like in and around the group, Freddie?
Oh, he's great. Just good fun. Like his brother, they love footy. They love being around other footy players. They train hard. If there's a game of golf on, they want in. If there's a game of chess on, they want in. Always playing cards.
Chess.
Anything. Compete.
40-20, Cherry Evans. He's nailed this. If it rolls, he might pull it off.
Oh!
It's rolling. It's cut back. It's going to roll. Garrick might have been taken out. Parker's dived on it anyway. There's a bit to examine here. What a remarkable bit of football.
Ash.
That's a try.
And this is his angle, Cherry Evans. He likes to hook the ball back, kick across his body from right to left. And he naturally gets that draw on the ball. Harvey Norman replay. He kicks across his body, gets the ball out away from his body and drives it. Simonson plays at the ball.
Oh, now I don't know if Garrick gets a hand on it.
Look at this, look at that whack. You see the ball drawing. Simonson goes back and flicks it inside. Garrick gets a foot to it. Someone gets a hand. I think it might be Gutherson.
It might be Gutherson. I think the bunker will have a look. He's been...
It's all Gutherson. And Brad Parker on his 100th game. Well done.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Garrick doesn't get the back of his arm on the ball. What an extraordinary turnaround.
Swings and roundabouts this game.
Garrick's left arm, just watch here.
Well, Weeks gets in the road.
Yeah.
Number 14, you can't see.
Looks like they're going to confirm it. They're looking for an angle. They might not have it.
The second most popular redhead in Manly history. And now, have we ticked off on this yet?
No, they're still looking. I don't think they've got an angle.
It's confirmed, mate.
They've
It's
confirmed it,
confirmed,
yeah.
yeah.
I think they suspected that he got an arm to it, but they couldn't find an angle to prove it.
He missed his kick from the same position, the previous kick on Turbo's try. Daryl Halligan, the master kicker, when he's coaching goal kickers, the big thing he talks about, you don't miss two in a row, especially from the same position. He pulled it left. Last kick. I want to put it out on that right upright and just let it fade back in.
Well, he's had a superb game. That was a spirited chase by Garrick to put himself in the position, and he's trying to draw it. Not quite. 6 points the margin tomorrow night on 9. The oldest rivalry in rugby league. The Roosters and the Rabbitohs head-to-head under lights in front of a packed Allianz Stadium. They will be ripping and tearing. See all the action on the only place to see your NRL footy live and free, right here. It's Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that was the right play from the Parramatta winger there. Conceding a 40-20 is not nice, but you can still defend it. Pretty hard to defend just knocking the ball back in field for the chasers to get a run on. Sometimes you've just got to take your medicine and say, okay, Cherry Evans has done well, 40-20, let's defend it. Just knocking the ball aimlessly back in field like that. Brad Fittler.
I was talking to Manly staff, and yesterday before training, all the players sat down and watched a highlights package on Brad Parker, a very popular member of the team. All the motivation tonight is all about his 100th game. It was good to see him score his 25th try.
Let him up now, square. Front foot, go forward.
Here's Turbo again. High tackle. Well, they can have a penalty goal here if they want it.
And when he gets that ball, he gets the ball and accelerates to the line. And he's always got a player on the outside from Manly pushing forward, which gets him that one-on-one tackle. He just gets there so quickly, so big.
Well, the way this game is going, whoever's got possession will score. They didn't even look at the post then.
Yeah.
I think they expect they'll score again here. And I kind of looked at the Parramatta body language, and I think they think so too.
Paseka takes a world of stopping. Kyo Weeks, Staley Cherry Evans, Sean Kepi. He's had a long stint on the ground. He's stopped by Jack Murchie. Polo down around the legs, and Moses for help. Weeks now to the skipper, to Schuster, to Turbo, to Tui Pilotu. Will they ever score?
No.
They stroll over.
I think you might
And
lose
it took
it.
them 2 tackles. We've got an inquiry.
Okay, Ash. Coming up with 3, I've got no try.
Jeez, this is some
I believe
save.
he's initially held up, and then we're seeing if he loses possession.
Oh, wow.
The work from Schuster.
Just looking at their cushion, Tuipulotu maintains possession. The ball is up at this stage.
No, gets it down.
So he got control of that ball.
Well, just a reminder too about the new rule here. The ball can roll up your arm, but there can't be separation.
I don't think he's got control over that one.
Cushion Tuipulotu loses possession of the ball into Clint Gutherson.
Clint
We'll have a
Gutherson.
decision.
What a save.
If we can have a replay, watch how close Gutherson gets his body in. He gets his body in that close to Tua Pilotu,
Yeah.
and he
Front
uses
foot,
his
guys.
body.
Be 7.
Just watch how close he gets in with his body and then falls backwards.
That's
That's
amazing.
some save.
Wait, guys, wait!
He is single-handedly keeping them in this. He dragged them back into the game in the first half.
Well, that was a vital one, because from the time Manly got the penalty, Parramatta had half given up.
Yeah.
And it only took them 2 tackles to get into the try line. Gutherson didn't give up, thankfully. But you could just see the body language on Parramatta. They weren't going to stop them.
Hold in, hold.
Gutherson gets them some relief.
Turn the other now.
Only 6 behind.
Wait.
He scored 2 and saved 1. King Clint from Parramatta. Now Moses across the field. Gutherson joins in. Brown's playing out wider here, and he goes for the accelerator, but he's tackled by Kohler and Cherry Evans. Goes back to Polo. Campbell Gillard. Last tackle. Moses station right. He goes through the hands, and they've got some numbers here, but Manly scramble, and he's dragged down
Control
here,
for me,
the young
Goffy.
gun Will Penasini.
Josh, with me. Hold in.
Oh, Garrick. Oh, he's a sacrificial lamb there.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest runs, coming off your try line like that.
Wait, go.
Oh, that's a big shot too. Both the wingers rattled up
Give
early
there, Josh.
in this set.
Hold.
And now Kohler, they're running straight into the meat of the defence here. Not really going anywhere, although that was good fight by Toldu Kohler.
Yeah.
Oh, they've undone all the good work with a penalty. They had them jammed.
Got to go this side, not over him.
There was no need to go on with it the way they did.
Round 3 of the NRL Telstra Premiership is multicultural round, which recognises and celebrates the diverse cultural backgrounds that make up the rugby league community. It is our differences that make us stronger together. And no more culturally diverse club in the competition than the mighty Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, who are at Belmore on Sunday against the West Tigers. Be a great way to celebrate the cultural diversity of rugby league. Now it's Ben Trebojevic who's out there now. And Jake runs into them within 21 metres of the line. 20 minutes left to play. It's Manly by a converted try. Terry Evans, they're just slipping off tackles, both teams. Hopgood missed Terry Evans that time. Turbo! Oh, he nearly cracked them again. He knocked the ball on though.
Gone short. 10 out, play the ball.
He's 34 years of age, Daly Terry Evans, and he's playing like a teenager.
Oh, big shot.
There's some tired boys out here. Look at Parramatta.
That timing of that tackle. That's twice.
Way too early, Jake.
We've seen Micah Sevo get rattled. That one there, they're the tackles that really hurt. When you get hit under the rib cage, look at that. That would hurt so much.
Danica, great crowd here again tonight. The atmosphere's been wonderful.
Yes, it certainly has been. They've certainly found their voice as well. The local crowd was a little bit quiet towards the back end of that first half, but they've found their voice. They're in full cheer at the moment, and we have been given the official attendance, which is 13,353, which is a great showing for a Thursday night.
Well, they've made noise that makes it feel that there's much more than nearly 14,000 here as Murchie has been battered and bruised. He goes to the sideline. The ball comes away now to Wonga Blake. And Cherry Evans in there. Gutherson the acting half. Cartwright into first receiver. Plays it on the 20. Hodgson right to Brown and Moses. He dodged Schuster. He goes out to Gutherson. He's tackled wonderfully. It's Brad Parker. Great shot. That's hurt Gutherson too. Now Moses, he goes back to where it all started. There's a kick and chase, and it might be a Parramatta try. They knocked it on. He knocked it on with the line wide open. Will Panasini.
Did he put the ball down before the try line, or did he just drop it cold?
It was gift wrap with a bow on top of it. Oh!
Give space now! Tora! Hold Regan!
I have dreams like that.
They're called nightmares. Oh, bad ball. It's going to go out.
Play the ball. Middle, play the ball.
Well, it's there for the team that wants it. Right at the moment, I'm not sure which team wants it the most.
Play the ball. To play the ball.
We've seen all the football from both teams. Now it's what else you've got.
With me, Manly.
Campbell Gillard. Ben Trebojevic in around the legs. Aloye, the top tackler. Hodgson for Moses, for Polo. Short pass. Great tackle against Cherry Evans. She's a good defender for a halfback. Has been his whole career. Polo. Hopgood. Tosses it out the back. Ball goes to Moses. And back now for... Is it Makatoa? It's Noisia. Campbell Gillard! Forward pass! Forward pass from Gutherson, who is blowing up. Not as much as Campbell Gillard, who thought he got a try.
It's a forward pass. Shot clock on.
Geez, I thought this looked flat.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, he's fading back. That's the problem. Clint Gutherson passes the ball. You got to be moving towards the opposition try line. He passes and fades back, which makes the ball look forward.
That went backwards. Wasn't even flat. It was just backwards.
Can't fade off your pass.
In there. KO. Break. Move down, square. Yeah, Regan.
Turbo's covered the most ground again. What a remarkable talent.
Hold. Go, 2.
Oh, Campbell Gillard crunched him. Is that a shoulder charge? The crowd thought so. Referee didn't agree. Now Hodgson throws himself in front of Jake Trebojevic. Weeks doing the acting half work. Now Turbo. That'll relieve some pressure. Good yards and a good platform for a Cherry Evans clearer. Set that sweetly. Sivo with the catch. Tui Piloto and Kohler down there with Hamali Olakauatu. Outside his 20. Blake. Oh, he's hard.
Up together and sweat. Hold.
Cartwright now.
Where's the shoulder charge?
Crushing tackle.
You're talking about the shoulder charge. You heard one of the Manly players. I just think he gets himself in an awkward position. He goes to wrap the right arm around, but he gets himself in an awkward position that he can't wrap the right arm around. I don't think that's the shoulder charge. He just gets himself in an awkward position.
All right, here we go. Junior Bowler's come from the field.
On report as well. Yeah.
Wow! Vitamu Gregg's first run ends in a car accident. Brown nearly slipped through them.
Well, he just picked out the biggest bloke and ran at him.
Oh, he's lost the ball.
Well, why don't you look at the Manly forwards?
Sorry, Jeff, what happened to Dylan Brown? Did he just fall over himself?
Well, I know him and Greg, Wirramu Greg are great mates. Maybe he felt Wirramu Greg's pain. Oh. Here we go here. They've totally changed their tackle technique. Some of these Manly forwards.
That is a seagull sandwich.
Olakauatu, that left shoulder has done some damage tonight.
What's happened there?
We speak often about the tackle techniques totally changed, where players like to catch or go in and absorb a runner. Olakauatu tonight has gone back to old school Trevor Gilmeister, just cutting blokes in half. That left shoulder tackle, about 3 or 4 of them tonight.
Just looking at the score here, we're down to the last 12 minutes. 6 the difference. Daly Cherry Evans loves a field goal. I think a 7-point buffer is just great.
Schuster, that was nice to watch. Now Tom Trebojevic nearly through. Moses with an ankle tap saved the day. Play 5. Cherry Evans goes to Schuster, chips it up in the air. There's some chases from Manly. Olakauatu up above them and scores.
Incredible. In the end, it comes down to the team that wants it the most. There are plenty of white jerseys here for Parramatta. Trebojevic digs into the backfield, gets up quickly, plays the ball. Harvey Norman replay. Schuster. Look, there's plenty of white jerseys here. Plenty. Olakauatu says no, mine.
Look at the talent of this young man. Look at that. Just lands it where the halfback defends. And Olakauatu, you talk about X factor.
Oh, that's
both in attack and defence. Freddie, you'd know they're from the same area, Western Sydney, Freddie, Olakauatu and Schuster.
Yeah, all those boys. LIA, he was part of that group as well. There was an article about the fellas come out in a bus together. He was a real late bloomer. Olakauatu played a bit of basketball in his time, and I remember the coach actually, I think, well, one of the trainers spotted him and said, mate, you know, you should come up and do a bit more training here.
Oh, so he didn't play league growing up.
Well, he played league growing up, but he was more of a basketball, and just one of those fringe blokes. He, played, but most of he didn't show the love that a lot of others do. He's showing it now.
Garrick just sneaks it through Sunday afternoon. We're heading to Belmore, where it will be packed out for an exciting clash. The Bulldogs at their spiritual home up against the West Tigers, who desperately need to get their season started. Don't miss a huge day of multicultural round celebrations and unmissable action right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Wait for the clock, wait for the clock. Time to run.
Back comes Jake Trebojevic, another outstanding effort tonight. He's played the whole game.
He isn't at the spell, has he, Jake?
So Para need to raise a special effort if they're to avoid going 0-3 to start their campaign. They've got a clash with Penrith next Thursday evening at Combank. The Panthers with their feet up watching all this unfold. And the week following, they've got the Roosters, who will also be fresh off a bye. This is a very daunting start to 2023 for last year's grand finalists. This will, Gutherson lets it bounce. And it bounces straight to him.
Up square, Brad. Taniela. Go 2.
There's still some tries left in this, though. Don't worry. Here's Greg.
Up square. Come on.
Put down more subtly by Aloye and Paseka that time. Ball comes to Will Penasini.
Schuster's in strife and cramp.
Yeah. Here's Moses. He needs a support runner. He got it back to Momoisia. Tapped up by Hodgson to Hopgood, to Campbell Gillard, to Brown. Double bouncing pass. Wonga Blake back to Bryce Cartwright. They're running around in circles here, but not going forward by any significant distance. It's Hopgood who's tackled on play 5.
Go. Go right.
Comes back to Hodgson. He kicks out wide towards Micah Sevo. It's knocked on by Manly. It's also knocked on by Parramatta. So the kick by Hodgson was an effective outcome.
Go through Daly. Go through Daly.
Well, it's still only 12 the difference. Is this Parramatta's ball?
Challenge here.
Daly Joe Evans, captain's
Yeah, I think
challenge.
it came off Micah Sevo
Disputing the
first.
decision of a knock-on by Manly first.
I think Sevo gets his hands and knocks it into a Piloto.
It's a good challenge.
Yep, just seeing who knocks the ball on here. Christian Tupelo makes contact first, just seeing which direction the ball goes.
I think the ball goes from Sevo into Piloto's
The ball is lost
head.
forward by Christian Tupelo. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Okay, the Eels have got the ball. Still 8 minutes to go. Brad Fittler.
There's a bit of carnage on the sideline. There's pickle juice being splashed everywhere. Danica's just wiping pickle juice out of her hair at the moment. The boys are cramping. Schuster went down earlier. Tuapolotu, he's still down. Pickle juice stinks too.
Goes well with tequila, though, I'm told, Danica.
Okay, guys, let's come in.
Really?
Come down.
Let's hope.
Pickle juice. You couldn't pay me enough to drink that.
Break. Daly.
Brown now. They got to score here.
Daly, early. What do you want to do? Repack or penalty? What do you want to do? Okay, over here. Over here.
Well, if they get one, Manly are going to be mighty nervous given the way this game's run.
Ben, let him on, Taniela.
If you score one, you score 2 or 3.
Go one. Tom.
Moses out for Brown, floating ball, Blake, Sevo, there it is!
All right, big kick coming up. Big kick coming up. 7 minutes to go, there's plenty of time. Mitchell Moses won't want to rush this Harvey Norman replay. Pretty simple play, over the top. Makasiva with a clear run to the line. But they need Mitchell Moses to kick this, to get within 6. Wanga Blake with the nice 2-on-1 on the end. Brad Fittler.
Well, both kickers haven't hit him that well tonight. 6 from 9. Ruben Garrick and Mitchell Moses. Oh. He's told him to bring it in closer. I've never seen that before in my life. There you go. Another first at Brookvale.
Does it really matter? Anyway, he's got to concentrate again. This is really important. When you're a goal kicker, these are the responsibilities you have at times. They're down by 8. 6 minutes to go. You've got to get them on the springboard. Couple of deep breaths.
No. It's not coming back. So, Para have got to throw everything at this now. They need 2 tries.
Well, they had the chance to go to 22 all, and Regan Campbell-Gillard reached out. They're pulling their ball back for that forward pass.
Here's Penasini. Simonson's out there. Garrick with a critical tackle. But it's only tackle 3, and they're right out at the halfway. Oh, ball. Greg off Hodgson. He got it back. Picked up by Brown. You just saw how good this bloke in number 9 is. He's got it back again here. They want the tackle count restarted. They won't get it. Hodgson playing tricks. Hodgson feigned a kick and goes and scores a try.
Hey, Joey, you said he couldn't run.
I know he's got some Nikes on. They must be made out of lead because he had the heavy legs on. What a play. What about Harvey Norman replay? The short ball, the double pump, the no-look pass. And then watch when he gets the ball back. Watch, he dummies the kick. You'll get the ball back, or Dylan Brown. Watch when he dummies the kick, what it does to the defence. They all hold back. Looks like he's going to kick. Dummies, they hold back. Show and go, and there they are.
It's Jonathan Thurston.
Look at those. Oh, the lead Nikes. He's played every minute. He's got so much class about him. Hasn't got out of dummy half running much. That'll come. The combinations will come, but he goes to show the class he's got. Geez, would have loved to have nailed that. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? They're looking, if it was a knock on, the ball went backwards.
Gus, he's so skillful, this bloke, Hodgson. He's been playing.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a distributor from dummy half at the start of the year, but they've got to use his skill more, haven't they? He's a magician.
Yeah, he's had some terrible injuries, and you know he's lost his pace, which is why he doesn't dart from dummy half as much these days. But he's still got that guile. He's still got that guile.
That was class, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mitchell Moses would have loved to have kicked that conversion earlier. Anyway, there's still time.
Oh, they could still win this.
Well, it puts him into 2-point field goal territory if he can put this over.
Oh,
only just.
An unbelievable game.
Watch this. Double pump, no look, short ball. And then watch this, comes out the back. Watch, he gets off the ground too. Made plenty of tackles tonight, 39 tackles. Gets the ball, and then watch this. Dummies the kick, they hold off, show and go.
Oh, that's awesome. There was a time back before he had those couple of really bad injuries. We were talking Cameron Smith and then him.
We were talking about, him pushing Cameron as best player in the world. Is Cameron still here? Might get Cameron to talk about Josh Hodgson after the game.
Let's get ready for an epic end. What a game of footy.
Up together, Lachlan.
The 2-point field goal's an option. And, of course, the try's an option.
Oh, Walakawatu's got it back off the offload. He's going to score and win it for Manly. You would not read about it. Power push the pass. And the Manly back rower, who's been exceptional tonight, has surely shut down any chance of a Para comeback.
Well, I guess that's a fair way for this game to end. Harvey Norman replay. Up to the line. Is that Cartwright? No, it's
Hopgood.
Hopgood gets the offload. And Olakau'atu, man on the spot, trundles 30 metres to put the game beyond doubt. Incredible.
He's got that X factor, hasn't he, Olakau'atu? Everything around him tonight. And he gets the ball, gets the big mid out. Look at the size of him. He is a weapon. That is a big human.
What a way for the game to end.
Oh. This has been entertainment, hasn't it?
Oh, very entertaining. We're 58. We're going to have 60 points scored.
60 points.
It's been all over the place. I think both sides have got something to work on.
So, Gus, it was 30-26 last week for Para. They came in on the wrong side. It's going to be 34-26 here. They are really struggling, aren't they? Their defence has been tissue-like at times tonight.
Yeah, I don't think either side has been great, but it's been great entertainment. As long as you don't have a vested interest in the result.
There's the match-winning play from Hamali Olakau'atu. Don't forget tomorrow night. If you thought this is good, tomorrow night we'll live right up to the building. Roosters-Rabbitohs, a rivalry that is steeped in history, right here live and free on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Who do you like?
I like the Bunnies.
Stay on.
A few injuries at the moment. Actually, I saw a few of the Roosters boys today. I saw Jared Warrior-Hargreaves. He said he's ready to go.
They've got it back from the kickoff. Oh, gee, he threw a shoulder into him there. He didn't even try to disguise that. Hopgood. And Moses for Gutherson, for Penasini. And he slips it for Simonson. He keeps the ball alive. Gutherson got it back. Moses has it now. Polor with it. They couldn't score another one.
Oh, anything can happen tonight. It's anything can happen Thursday.
Brown, Moses, Sevo!
Anything can happen Thursday.
Well, he's pulled out.
Really?
He's pulled out the rocket launcher, Mitchell Moses. Olakau'atu has got a tendency, Harvey Norman replay, to come rushing in. They've got him a couple of times. That time he just pulls out the Scud missile and just fires it. He had to hit the mark with this pass, Moses. Look at this, whack, fires it. No room for error. Micah over in the corner, what a game.
I said when Olakau'atu scored that he seals it for Manly. I'd love to take that back. There's still 2 minutes to go.
It's anything can happen Thursday. Bradley Fittler.
Well, he pushed this last one to the right. He's actually aimed a little bit left, pretty much straight at the black dot.
He's left it there again. They're going to have to score a try to win it.
This anything happens Thursday, does that change at midnight or does it carry on after midnight?
No, well, Thursday ends at midnight. We all know what's going to happen tomorrow night. We all know what's going to happen tomorrow night. Don't lie, you don't know. We know. Rooster versus Rabbit. We know what's going to happen.
What a game. There's 2 minutes left.
There's been 20 points scored here in the last 9 minutes. Do you think they're tired?
Stay on!
They're still in this.
Parra could go the length and win this.
Well, he had to kick that to bring the 2-point field goal into play. Now they need a try. Here they go.
Here's Polo.
He was looking for a trick shot then, Junior Polo. He was looking to pass to Simonson.
Momoisia picks up 5 metres, plays it to Hodgson, the magician. Hopgood away to Gutherson, ball out to Brown, and away to Wonga Blake. Cherry Evans makes the tackle. They've got to make 3 more, and they can probably shut the game down. Here's Greg. Hodgson, Hopgood, and Gutherson, and out to Moses, who comes powering onto it. He's gone over the touchline. Surely that's it now. Barring an intercept or something. Something else.
He's holding
bizarre.
He's holding a.
Okay, Ash. Coming up to tackle 5. Parra challenging in a touch. Need to see if ball going arms off on the ground.
Still got challenges left.
Someone's on the ground over there for Manly. It might be Brad Parker.
Mitchell Moses maintains possession. Momentum takes him towards the touchline. Just seeing at what point the ball's let go.
It's a bit of a Hail Mary challenge.
Mitchell Moses' left elbow makes contact with the ground and he is still in possession of the ball. The challenge is unsuccessful.
They did, mate. Yeah, they did it. It's on chest. Where do you want it? Middle.
34-30.
Oh.
If I'm either coach tonight, I go home scratching my head, thinking, what was that? What was that? Anthony Seabold will get some sleep. Brad Arthur won't.
Surrender! Move square. Wait! Wait!
Manly are going to win their first 2 games of the season for the first time since 2013. They've got a date with South Sydney next week, while Parramatta have 7 days to get to the bottom of this and face off against the Panthers at Combank Stadium in Thursday night footy.
Well, 15 seconds, 1 play left.
Cherry Evans kicks it high. They've got to make at least 1 more tackle. Gutherson, nowhere to go. He's tackled by Kohler. That's the game. Manly win. And anything happens Thursday.
No challenges.
Anything happens Thursday. 64 points. Manly were home, and then they were in trouble. Then they were behind. Then they were home. Then they were in trouble. Then they were home. And then they had to defend the last minute to finally get the victory.
That was some game. Manly 34 have beaten Parramatta 30.